And folks, welcome to the show. Today's date is June 14th, 2019. I am Keith Landy, your happy healer for president. And let's get this show off to a start. Come, we're coming for you. This happy healer, we love you. So come on this journey. Why don't you come on this journey with your happy healer too? We just have the world together. Everything in it is just so rad. Oh, come on this journey with your happy. Alrighty, so definitely welcome to the program, guys. That's just how it's going to be each day, each night when we come on. And as we head into this monumental moment for me, which is the day of my announcement on June the 18th. And we've already got people that are signing up. I know other people who I don't even know on Facebook that I know are committed to being there. And I'm really excited about it. You know what excites me most? Talking about what matters to you guys and to each other, having that conversation. That's really what matters to me. It's so real for me. And I know the reason why I'm doing this, the reasons are so pure. And it's not one of those silly ideas like these other guys have. Like they just want to be your condescending candidate. And I quite frankly see that as a silly idea. I feel like we all are moving into much more enlightened areas, and that it's important for us to live lives that are worthy and representative of the value that we know that we possess in our lives, that we know we possess. You know, being a good human being is not about being a perfect human being. I am not representative of a perfect human being. I have flaws. Many of us have flaws, and we just can't get around the fact that, well, flaws just sometimes give us character. You know? One of the things that I learned, and I'll do anecdotes from time to time because I actually do, as a 40-year-old man, have a lot to draw upon. And one of the things that comes to mind for me is when I used to have it so easy, when I had 3 cars to choose from, which car would I get into today, you know? Or that I had 2 different homes, which home do I want to go to? You know, it's like, it just seems so foolish. It seems like a fool's errand. And money that you can't spend, but it's there. Well, it's there for what? You'll never actually spend as much money as you ever save, right? You can't both save your money and spend it. You can't both have $100,000 in the bank and spend $100,000. So you have to either have it or spend it, one or the other. And if you choose to hang on to it, well, then you're just spending money no different than a broke guy. What makes you any different? Because you know the moment that you spend that money, then you're broke. So it's all a trap, isn't it? You just can't get out of it. And that's the thing where it just keeps looping back around. So what are we all doing then? Just carrying the water until one day we just drop it all, huh? No. And we have to put each other first in ways that are actually meaningful, in ways that make a difference. And so that's a challenge. Okay, recently, if you watch or if you're on Facebook a lot, then you also get these random ads. And I just seen one with Jennifer Lawrence, and it showed her moving about, talking about some of the different objectives that we have in politics today, and some of the problems, and that the fundamental problem that we are dealing with is completely one of a complete nature, in that we just have to start from fresh. In some ways is what it felt like it was going down. And then it felt like, wait a second, they're pulling back on this message. They're just sort of, okay, we'll have a few reforms. It boiled down to it was some kind of Reform Act bill. I just seen it before I came on. So I wasn't prepared to talk about it, but it's relevant for the fact that here you have Jennifer Lawrence in this just, I guess, released ad talking about how crazy our times are and how our politics are not working for us. Isn't it so true that virtually everybody knows that? All right, recently I've been using a term, and I do term things. I like to use my own terminology. It helps people keep up with me and with my frame of thought and where we're headed. And where we're headed is great places. So I want to talk about, do you guys remember Joe the plumber? Well, your happy healer has Joe somebody. Joe somebody. It could be anybody. It could be me. It could be you. In fact, Joe somebody is running for president. Joe somebody. Okay? And it's representative of any one of us. Joe somebody. I'm going to be talking about Joe somebody a lot during this election. And we just have to be prepared for taking on truth in ways that we can all understand it, we can grasp it, and we can move on to the next thing. Because I assure you that if truth prevails, and that should this race be about what's right for the American people, and that truth prevails, then we are in great shape in this campaign because we're focused on the people. And that's all we'll be focused on right on throughout. And that gives us a steady assurance. We know we have the righteous indignation that the condescending candidates only wish they could have. But they'll never have because that's the nature of who they are. That is who they are. All right, let's get things started.
Hello, fellow citizens. Activate. I am your happy healer for president, running in 2020. We have serious issues, and we need serious people to solve those serious issues. And you know I'm right. So let us get serious now.
Because we don't have a chance, and we don't have privilege. Hello, you might be wondering who I am. My name is Keith Landy. I live right here in Orlando, Florida, and believe it or not, I'm running for President of the United States. I know, it sounds grandiose. Don't get caught up in it. Let us focus more on the mission at hand. What we're focused on here is doing good work for Americans, good work for our brothers and sisters, focusing on our health care, focusing on our lives, focusing on what's right for our future, and ultimately, a gift from our Creator, Almighty God, and a promise from Him. In this life, the same thing really that this nation says, and that is that we can have the pursuit of happiness. Our Creator wants the same thing for us. And so we have reached that precipice in time where our Creator, our environment, it seems like the very nature of life itself is screaming and it's calling for new times. And so here I am, your happy healer for President 2020, and we're building this event because I am your Orlando son. This city is my adopted city, my adopted home. I have a home here. I care about my home here, and I love Orlando, and I love America, and I love you, and I love life. And I feel like all of us have been getting the raw deal in that we can have so much better in life. And that we have been for so long forsaken and forgotten, and that we have been losing our minds and going mad with the knowledge of knowing that we should have so much better. And so we clamor to the idea that maybe if we all band together and we push and we scream and we pick our sides, that we can have some piece, some slice of that which has for so long evaded us, largest injustice in all of our lives. that is our time that we live in now. And the American people know its injustice is just so wrong, and that we can have so much better. And that is why we see this huge division in our country. That is why this time, like no other time in history, calls for people that are serious to come together in a serious way and to put humanity first. And in doing that, folks, you have to be the humanity candidate. You have to love all humanity. That's right. You have to love all humanity. And they're failing to do that. They're choosing their sides. They're picking their sides. They're saying, I'm right and you're wrong. They're all choosing sides. They have your haves and your have-nots. They have your rights and your lefts, your ups and your downs. Why is the world, can it just be a sensible place focused on humanity? We are the people that matter. We are the people. There are no other people. This is the life. This is our lives. You know, I say to my religious friends, yes, we need to work towards our afterlife, and it's so important. In fact, life itself, the very nature of it, is a journey towards that afterlife. But we also have to focus on this life and what is right here and what we have right in front of us. Yes, it is important, and I believe we will be judged based on how well we take care of each other, and that is the test of this life, and that is the journey of this life, is to show how much love we can show one another, and how much we can succeed in that love, and how much we can use that love to conquer our problems right before us. Like, we need to provide health care for our citizens, and that's why I am announcing my candidacy for president of the United States right here in Orlando, Florida. I am so proud to be able to do that, and you know what? We are not going to drop this ball. This opportunity is an opportunity for the people. We are going to take it from here straight on, because the people matter. We are going to enter the White House. Should we ever get there, it'll be because of that. Make no mistake about it. How can you possibly say you are the humanity candidate and you are for killing babies? There is a sanctity of life, and it's not buzzwords. We're not trying to use buzzwords. You gotta get that out of your system, folks, and I just sometimes have to dig so deep. People are very sensitive, and we have to talk to them with a sensitive tone. We have to realize how sensitive they are, so sensitive, because they've been toyed with for so long. It's just so wrong, and for so long they've been toyed with. It's unconscionable. How can people do that to other people? And that is why your happy healer is running, because he sees that we can have and be so much better. And so talk to those people. Which matters and matter to me and to our families and to our environment that we live in, that is all around us. Why is it that we are accepting this divisive environment? It's just no good. And we're excited about this day because we have to be prepared. We have to announce our candidacy for presidency of the United States. This is us, the people. I am your people's candidate, and we are focused on what matters, because no other candidate in this race is really. And that is you, the American people. Make no mistake about it. I am so proud to know that and say that and live that truth. Every single day I get on, I talk about that truth, and I remind of that truth. Yes, I am the humanities candidate, and I've heard other candidates actually use that word humanity, like as if they were somehow a humanities candidate, but we know they're not the humanities candidate. Your humanities candidate has to be somebody who could stand tall and say, I hold the moral high ground on humanity. Because nobody is going to let you hold the moral high ground on humanity as the humanities candidate unless you really take care of humanity. You better believe I am selling a realistic picture, because we have to win, and we owe it to ourselves to have a winning formula. And that's why I'm going directly to the people who matter, and that is all of you. Each and every person who is an American matters. You're an individual in this country, a citizen, and for so long, it's us who have been forgotten. Hello, and my name is Keith Landy, the Happy Healer. I am running for President of the United States of America. I'm doing it because I love our country. I love it so much. I'm a 40-year-old man. I am not without flaw. I am a normal human being. I just love, and I just know it's right for our country. Hi, folks. My name is Keith Landy. I'm the Happy Healer, and I'm running for President of the United States. I'm running because I believe in our country, and I believe in each and every person in our country. I believe in the future, and because I see so clearly the need for a better way, and that humanity gets a true shot. So what this video is my announcement for President of the United States of America. I do it humbly. I don't want to be your next condescending candidate. I want to be your humble candidate, the one focused and driven on the things that matter to us. Very simple when you look at it in those terms. So join me on this June the 18th, right here in Orlando, Florida. If you're local, I would love to have you come out. Join us right outside of the Amway Center downtown, and just be a part of the process that is becoming the Happy Healer for President, a movement that is of, for, and by the people, as I am your people's candidate. Well, if you want to see the Happy Healer just speak about love and unity and the things that we all need to hear, then come out. And if you want to support a candidacy that is actually focused on the real needs of the American people, the things that we all truly need in our lives, then come out. And if you just want to have a difference in our country, that you care about our country just like I do, and you want your voice to be heard just like I want my voice to be heard, then come out and be a part of what is ultimately the Happy Healer for President and all of what we stand for. Our platform, the Humanity Platform. And we're the only candidacy that can truly stand up and say that we are standing tall on humanities. We love the human being. We back the human being. And we realize what it is so important to put value and purpose in each and every life in order to have the moral high ground. You can't have the moral high ground, and the people won't let you have that moral high ground on human values if you are not genuine, if you are not complete in humanities in every sense of the word. You can't have an inconsistent message and say that humanity while in the womb doesn't matter, but then later on that we need health care for all. It just doesn't make sense, and the American people aren't going to let you get away with that, who need the chance to thrive and to do well in the coming new age. And that is exactly what we are rolling in as a new age. And we're going to be talking about this and so much more. So I don't want to spend too much time. It's already been a few minutes. I think you get the idea. We are a new age candidacy. We are a candidacy of, for, and by the people. I welcome you to join us.
Let's get serious about unity in our country. Let's take our grave threats of our time seriously. Unity in our country is a grave risk to the security of every American. And so, vote for the people's candidate, back the people's candidate in this race, and we can get unity, somebody who's putting our humanity first and putting common sense first.
Folks, what you're going to hear from your Happy Healer is nothing but common sense and more common sense. And that's what people expect to have in their leader. And so, make no mistake about it, I, your Happy Healer, while I may not be your condescending candidate, I most certainly do have what it takes to become President of the United States of America. I'm 40 years old, and I have had a life, an American life, representative of Joe somebody. It could be anybody. It could be you. I've had great opportunity, and I've also had tough knocks in life. And the reality of it is, all of it has prepared me for this monumental moment. Because that is the experience of the American people, that they range in experience, and that it takes somebody that has that true grit about working for those people and knowing who they are, and that you can't even begin to know who they are unless you can relate with who they are, unless you have been there. And your happy healer has, and I am running for president on that message, on the humanities message. So join me on the 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Amway Center right here in Orlando, Florida. You'll be able to find me because I'll be the guy with the American flag. I'll be the guy with the signage that says happyhealerforpresident.com, and I will be the guy announcing for this country a new day in America. A new day. A day where we can all dream again. It's just going to be so great. I can't wait to see realized the average man's dream that for so long we knew was possible and was fleeting but shouldn't have been. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the qualifications of yours truly to be president of the United States, and why those condescending candidates would have you think otherwise, but they are wrong, and I will tell you why and how, and they are wrong, and you know they're wrong because of their approach. They are no better than you, they are no better than me, and I am the people's candidate, and what is true about me is true about you. Let us have the courage to vote somebody in with the purity of the experience of the American people, somebody who can truly feel and touch, and that is what is going to serve the American people. We need no less than the most deepest and strongest characteristics of our next president to bring about the unity our country deserves. And in unity is where we will find our prosperity. It's where we will find our promising days. It's where we will find the days where we can deliver on humanity in the most meaningful and powerful ways, so that we can provide health care for all. It's something we have to do for humanity. It's the same reason why we have to care for the unborn humanity. Humanity matters, and that is my platform. No other platform is consistent. No other platform can stand on a moral high ground and say that they put humanity first. We can. And that is our platform. We are for the American people. We want to bring our people into the new age, into the kind age, into the loving age where we're putting people first in a true way. You cannot put this country first unless you put its people first. Because we need an income for all, and that income for all has to be at least $5,000 for each and every American U.S. family. It takes at least $5,000 to survive in today's world, in today's economy, in the United States of America. And so that's just to say, for you to have your sustenance and for you to be able to have a fair shot at experiencing right out of the gate the American dream and defining what that American dream is in the new age. Because we are in the new age. Make no mistake about it, we have to declare boldly that we are in a new age. A technological age, a spiritual age, where things are just so possible. And folks, that is what we need in our next president. A president who realizes that it's the new age that we all need to be headed towards, and that we need to be fighting towards that new age. That's why I'm running. I'm running because I want to bring us into a new age. I want us to have a happy life. I want you and your family to have a happy life. And while Donald Trump wants to put you back inside of the factories, I want to get you out. I want the new age to take care of it. God has given us the wisdom and the ingenuity to be able to solve these issues. And we have robots, and AI can do these monotonous jobs, these unforgiving jobs, and humanity can be free to be creative and creativity can go out of this roof, and we can just build in such human stock and human value. Our NASDAQ stocks will rise like they have never done before, like people in the past in the early 90s thought when the NASDAQ and when the technology stocks hit that they would outdo other stocks. In our new age, they will, because we are putting so much emphasis and effort on the human spirit. The human value itself will take on new value. Indeed, this great new age will not just be a technological marvel and wonder, but it will be an economic wonder too. Do you know how much value it will be in this country, the first country that can fully supply for its citizens, when all value in all countries, in all places, value is derived by what one individual is willing to perceive the value of an item versus and against what another individual is also willing to perceive and place a value on that same item. Then emerges a given price, and that's how the markets work. And what drives the markets? The demand. And the more the people of this country demand a change from the way we do business, and boy do they demand it, then we know how serious our job is right now. And you know what? The birth of the Green Deal should tell you the people want new ideas. They expect it, they demand it of the new age, because they know we are in the new age. And they are not about to hear that the human ingenuity that has delivered this new age upon us belongs only to a few corporations. No sirree. That belongs to human ingenuity. That belongs to God's people. That belongs to the human spirit. That belongs to you and me. We are the Americans of this country. We deserve to have a full and complete opportunity of the new age, and we believe we can bring it in our time, and we just know it's so to be true. And we see America, the most prosperous nation, not delivering for even her own. And just imagine if the richest country in the world can't deliver for its own and cannot provide for its own. What does that say for the rest of the world? We have to be a source of inspiration for them. We have to show them that it can be done here. And then we'll be leading by example once again. And that's what we have to do. And as president, that's what I will do. There is so much I intend to do as your next president. And I assure you, it is all rooted in the development, the enrichment, and the empowerment of the human spirit of you. I know who you are, and I know your life. So come with me on June 18th. And join me as we announce the people's candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America. God bless you. God bless your families. Tune in. I hardly told you anything. We've got so much more to share, and so many exciting things to share, and so many groundbreaking things to share. And to my Democratic friends, I depart telling you this. We are the progressive candidacy, and we are the candidacy that can unite this country and bring Republicans together with Democrats. I can bring our Trump people together. I voted for Trump, and I know those people. It's time for a better America, and they're ready. So we can make our progressive agenda a reality, in that they want the health care for all that we want. They want opportunities and equal opportunities for people, and they want a consistent message that says humanity matters. So to say that humanity matters, that we provide an education, that we never stop educating because we care and that you matter, and that we provide an income because you matter, and that we provide all of these things, and we raise the stock of human value, and we create a new value in humanity. That is forward thinking, and that's the kind of thinking that Americans deserve in this new world. And that is why I am running for president of the United States. Make no mistake about it, there is so much that we can do, and so much that we will do. And I don't want to be your condescending candidate. I want to be your inspiring chief. I want to help us break through to new paths and to open new doors. I want to be your first gay president, but not because I'm gay, but that because I'm gay, we can help lift folks who have been for so long ignored by society, and we can inspire a brand new segment of society like never before. It's an amazing thing to think we can do that, but Being gay itself is not a qualifying factor. No matter how advanced or forward-thinking or progressive it may feel, it is simply not a qualifying factor. And that is why what I am running on is very clear, and I hope the American people listen to the sincerity in my voice and realize that we all deserve this future, this reality, and that we can have the courage to dream and to know that we can make that dream true, and that together we can make it a reality. I'll see you on June 18th.
we're talking about the new spiritual and technological economy, with emphasis on humanities and the mental and emotional, physical and financial well-being of each of our citizens, knowing that is the only investment that raises all of our people, and that even the people on the top are limited by the lack of progress on the bottom. We all raise together to new heights in the same way how today an average person lives with more comfort than kings of the past have had. It's an age which acknowledges that there has been enough human progress that only came to us through sharing and human discovery. This is what we mean when we say share in the wealth in this regard, to provide sustenance for our citizens to measure up to their full potential and faith. Something that raises spirits while lifting hope. It also lifts society itself and makes our world safer. It increases happiness like nothing else can. When folks are free to live their fate, imagine what that would do to suicide rates. Not to mention all of the other actions humans take when they act out of desperation. We need to finally listen to the very nature at the core of our humanity, to the human spirit. It's crying out, and it wants love. It wants love. It wants to matter. It wants to live, and it wishes it wasn't in pain, and it wished it wanted to live more. It wants to dream because it believes, and dreams to believe. That belief is the hope, the foundation on which our futures are built. So it's not so much as in material ownership or direction of material assets that the people want. All they ever wanted was to live, dream, and hope free, that they can be and make something of themselves, but they wanted to have an opportunity to make that dream come true, and they have not even the time to nurture a love or hone a God-given talent, let alone to realize their fate. In America, in the 21st century, people need their time back if we are to see a higher society. And that is hard work in its own right, because out of a wall of despair will be built a vast, proportionate world aimed at increasing human value and life, the human experience, and for anyone to also expect to lead our nation, and for them to have at the disposal this ability and not provide it to our people. It's an abomination to our Creator and to humanity at large, all of us, and to our Creator's intentions to and for another people and their fate. And it's an act beyond measure that steals life, hopes, dreams, and happiness directly from the American people. Not with a landy-land presidency, and that the material assets and ownership was to provide that life-sustaining necessity to human life in our country. For our vision to work, we have to shift in this new age, which the very nature of that shift would include getting folks health care and getting them covered, getting them education, and making sure that education is the way of the future, and an income for all. People have to be provided for. Ultimately, we are a growing, vibrant community and changing with the shifting nature all around us. And we have to accept that. We have to live up to that ideal or lose to China and others who would have had the agility that we lack to live up to that very ideal. And considering China is moving ever aggressive in ways we don't have leadership with the foresight and the ability to take us on that journey, to take us through the 21st century, then we find ourselves left behind. We won't make it through this century if we don't have the critical leadership. We are lacking that critical leadership right now. And that's why your happy healer is running for president through God's gift of human intelligence and ingenuity, that which fundamentally belongs to all of God's people, not just the wealthy and the fortunate. Development of the sciences is also a gift from our Creator that allows for repurposing of the human journey. So since government's role at its core in the human essence is to provide a place where life itself can flourish and to see to life's potential so that it can live its full potential, we have then therefore adopted a platform designed to do exactly that and take us through the 21st century when all the other campaigns have ignored the responsibility to live up to what it is to be in the 21st century and a human being in the richest country in the world. We have an obligation to show what we can do for our people. We are now at a time when the government takes away from what belongs to the people as a whole and allows a few corporations and other entities to monopolize on what should ultimately belong to you and me, the people, and the advancement of all humanity, our society, and by providing and meeting the needs of the humanity in the 21st century in America. That's a noble cause indeed, to lead in the world by showing what taking care of humanity within countries' borders can be and look like to its core. To even say it's possible is to boldly dream, but it's more than possible. It's demanded of our time. The only question left now, and can we meet those demands of our times? Human ingenuity is a gift from God that has historically lifted the entire human race to significant heights. All throughout history, we have seen civilizations come and go, but through it a steady incline unto the modern world we see today. It's easy for one to take for granted how the modern world came about. It's common knowledge that over time and throughout history, human advancement has been a long, steady arch until recent times, when technological development has soared beyond measure in ways that we are entering the days of artificial intelligence, and indeed those days have been here for some time. And as many heavyweights have already recognized, it's already here, and it's here to stay, and the genie is out of the bottle, and now it's just a matter of whomever harnesses this great technological power. And I believe it should be America. And I trust America. The powers and the effects of the powers of which God's awesomeness and beyond human imagination, powerful subatomic world, complete with discoveries and predictions that make obvious the direction of our Creator's intention of the fate His creation are intended to experience. His creation is us, and the proof is all around us. We are indeed, therefore, by nature itself seemingly, propelling us into an ever-increasing, technologically advanced world that is making and churning out billionaires every day, it seems. Yet the American people, those whose ingenuity and freedoms helped fuel it all, have in large been left completely behind. And that was never our Creator's righteous intent. We know that because we see so many self-righteous get it wrong, don't we? God never meant for us to know everything or to be perfect. We just had to love, and it was that love was perfect. Had we done that, we wouldn't be having any of these problems now. My plan builds on human creativity in a way that this greedy world that we live in this greedy way that we do things now, could never hope to entice and enrich. Because when things are done for the right reasons, and out of love, and for people who matter, whose relatives and descendants themselves have been responsible for the very advancements the mostly billionaire class gets to enjoy. We are not trying to tell them not to be exuberantly more wealthy than the rest of us, so long as they don't tell us that we have to live among people who are dying on the streets with no health care and no means to make ends meet. With a lack of means and a lack of health care, there's going to be a lack of life. With a lack of means and a lack of health care, no wonder why there's so not in God's world, not the world He provided to us. And this is just where we stand right now. I see a great new path. We can all be so bold. God's gift is a gift that keeps giving in that way. Should we have courage to bring in this new age, well then, we all shall reap in its arrival. We all shall reap in its benefits. And the best part is, it's already here. We just have to have the courage to usher in and implement its technologies, and to the greater effect we do that, notwithstanding that when you put the American populace with the sense of urgency behind the technological advancement, much comes from that. The last time we did that, we called it the Manhattan Project, and it was responsible for the creation of the world's first usable atomic atom bomb, and confirmed proof positive of this very notion of American ingenuity and strength when compelled And this is a time in history like no other that we should be compelled, when we need to be compelled, most to meet the challenges and the demands of our times. Because while our Creator provides us the means to survive and to flourish, if we have the courage to do what we must, but that is only if we have the courage to do what we must. He also provides the rope and allows us the freedom to hang ourselves from a tree. The choice is yours, my friends. It's either the past or it's the future. It's the next chapter of love and unity, or it's more division and even possible civil war. The choice is yours. I personally have been on a long journey of discovery that has, well, brought me here, for better or worse. And I just know in my heart of hearts and with the intellect God gave me that if we don't have a leader that is selfless in their intent, and that their intent is about building humanity and works to enhance the life of the average person who is alive and in our midst, then life itself will cease to suffice, lacking any luster or the appeal to carry on. I am driven by my motive and love to help humanity and our need to fix this mess that we are currently now in. Nobody wins if we all lose. And this is the territory we are now in, my friends. And we have the insanity to match it by many of the people around us. My appeal is to better days, to sounder judgment, and to a future worth living, and a future worth living in. God bless you, my fellow Americans. Please join our campaign, donate, and get involved. I'm asking for your help to join our campaign. I am your happy healer for president for the Democratic nomination. I am Keith Landy. God bless you, and God bless your family too.